And now, BX Forever presents another RPG deep dive.
Welcome to another episode of BX Forever.
Today, we are opening up a really surprising piece of history from 1985.
Yep.
It's the solo adventure module CM5, Mystery of the Snow Pearl, for the Dungeons & Dragons game.
Right.
Now, you might think an old paper and dice adventure is, just a fun dungeon crawl. But we're treating this source material like a really deeply structured narrative document.
Exactly. Our mission here is to look past that fantasy veneer and analyze this thing as a remarkably advanced piece of game design for its time. It's a complete system. It tests your resource management, how you navigate information. And this is the most surprising part. It puts your character through a continuous moral examination.
And the stakes are, they're just enormous right from the start.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the quest of Kristavieta, an elven warrior. His titles are Tenslayer Wolfbane, and he's tasked with protecting the Terralon elf home. The fate of his entire homeland rests on getting back one single stolen item.
And that item is one of 4. Get this. Snow-white pearls the size of acorns.
Right.
These pearls are the source of Terralon's magical defense. They're placed around their sacred tree of life.
So who's the bad guy?
Well, that's what's interesting. The culprit isn't some, dark lord. It's Milgor, who the text just describes as that prankster wizard.
A prankster.
A prankster. And he stole the purest pearl by disguising himself, first as a jay, then as a finch. It's not about brute force. It's a magic trick.
That detail about the disguise is great. It signals right away that this quest is going to be about subtle perception, not just, swinging a sword.
Totally.
But the pressure is real. Kristoff has to get that pearl back before the full moon.
3 days.
Just 3 days. If he fails, the bandit town of Riaga learns that Terralon is defenseless.
That short timeline right there, it forces a very specific, very strategic way of playing.
It has to.
It absolutely does. And the elders who send Kristoff out, they get this. They don't just hand him a sword and wish him luck. They give him 3 strategic assets, first the other 3 pearls, and they conveniently glow as they get near their stolen sibling.
Okay, that's helpful. What's number 2?
Second is a huge piece of advice. Be steadfast and courageous, turning first to cunning, not combat.
Cunning, not combat.
And they also give him a cryptic hint to find a wise woman, saying, a bird knows where she roosts.
Ah, tying back to the bird disguises.
You got it. And the third asset is basically the blueprint for winning. It's a fragment of a broken tablet.
Just a fragment.
Just a fragment. And it's rumored to contain the secret to Milgor's weakness. So the player realizes instantly, okay, I have to find the other pieces. It's a core quest.
Okay, so let's unpack the structural brilliance here. Because it's a solo module, the designers had to be, masters of controlling information. And they used that now famous gimmick, the magic viewer adventure structure.
Which, for anyone who hasn't seen one, meant that all the critical text directions, traps, maps, it was all printed in red ink.
So you couldn't see it.
You couldn't see it. It was just a jumble until you placed this special red plastic screen, the viewer, over the page.
A very simple but really effective analog way to stop you from cheating and to keep the suspense going.
Yeah. But the real genius isn't just hiding the text. It's how the game tracks Kristoff's behavior within that text. And that brings us to the system that governs the whole story. The triad score.
The triad score. This is the moral axis of the game, right?
It is. Your character sheet tracks 3 completely separate values: honor, persistence, and selfishness.
Okay.
You start with certain points in each, and the game is constantly telling you to gain or lose points based on what you do. So if you do something that benefits you but hurts someone else, you might gain a point of selfishness but lose one of honor.
So the module is basically making you role-play a philosophy.
Yes.
It's constantly grading your character's choices, not just your dice rolls.
Precisely. And this ties directly into the game's economy, the XP experience points. You get XP by defeating monsters, like you'd expect. But here's the twist. You do not use XP to level up.
So what's it for?
XP is a currency. You can spend it up to 5 points at a time to directly alter a die roll.
Wait a minute. So if I'm the player, I can literally buy success. I can spend 5 XP to add 5 points to a roll I'm about to fail.
You can.
Doesn't that sort of break the game? Doesn't that undermine the stakes?
It's a great question, but look at it from the designer's view. It creates this fascinating dilemma.
Okay.
If you save your XP, you have a high courage score at the end, which is crucial for the final judgment.
Oh.
But if you spend it now on a key puzzle, you're upholding that cunning, not combat rule by using your resources to avoid a fight.
So it forces this constant cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah.
Do I use my valuable endgame XP now to get past this trap and save my hit points?
Yeah.
Or do I save it for the big finale, knowing my final XP total decides my fate?
Exactly. It turns XP from just, an experience number into a metagame strategic resource.
That is genuinely groundbreaking design for 1985.
It is. So let's see how that resource management and the cunning, not combat rule play out in the first big section, the wilderness.
The module immediately forces you to choose wits over warfare.
And the best example is the giant encounter.
The giant.
So this giant doesn't attack you. He challenges you to a contest of strength. 3 tasks. Crush a boulder, push a pillar, and toss a boulder 200 yards.
And if you fail?
If you try to fight him, or you fail, he just casually steals one of your precious pearls. It's a penalty for not being clever enough.
So you can't win with brute force.
No, the module demands deception. To crush the rock, Kristoff is supposed to use a block of cheese he might have in his pack.
Jeez.
He squeezes the way out to make it look and sound like he's crushing a stone.
That's hilarious.
To push the pillar, he has to notice and loosen a keystone first. And for the toss, he has to exploit the giant's bad eyesight by just flinging a small bird into the air.
A block of cheese. That's almost cartoonishly clever, but it makes perfect sense for the theme. The game is just systematically punishing a traditional combat approach.
This pattern keeps going. You meet this deceitful, portly man who makes Kristoff get a scarf for him.
Okay.
That man later turns into a giant pig illusion. And you don't beat the pig with a sword. You have to remember a magic word, rap, that you might have learned from watching a meditating badger in a cave somewhere.
You have to pay attention to every little detail.
Every single one. And Milgor himself even shows up early to test you.
The prankster wizard.
Yeah. He's disguised as a friendly woodcutter, offers Kristoff some ale.
It's a trap.
Of course, if you drink it, he tries to drug you. Not kill you, just drug you. It's another clue that Milgor is theatrical. He's testing your wariness, not trying to end your life.
So after mastering trickery in the wilderness, Kristoff moves into the caverns of Caron, Milgor's labyrinth.
And the theme shifts here. It moves from deception to reconstruction and sacrifice.
Oh, so?
Well, the environment itself is a challenge. The caverns are magical. They mess with his elven infravision.
So he needs a light source.
He has to use a torch or a lantern, but that's a tactical choice. Light means he can't be surprised, but it also means he can't surprise his enemies. Every choice has a cost.
And his main goal is to assemble the crystal sword and complete that broken tablet.
Right. And the first big puzzle is this locked chest.
Okay.
It needs 4 specific gems, topaz, ruby, sapphire, and another one placed in these indentations. And when you do it,
The chest opens.
the chest opens, but the gems crumble to dust. You have to literally sacrifice treasure to get the tool you need, which is the sword hilt inside.
Wow, so the theme of sacrifice is literal. You give up high-value loot to get the key item for the final fight.
A very clean parallel. And Kristoff also finds these magical creatures trapped by Milgor, like a Christ, an earth elemental, and a water weird.
And you can choose to help them or not.
And depending on whether you show honor and empathy by freeing them.
It affects your triad score.
Exactly. If you act selfishly and just walk by, you lose honor, even if you save time.
Right.
And to get deeper, Kristoff has to solve riddles. The middle ring needs one of the snow pearls, and the answer to a riddle about an invisible barrier. There's a man trapped inside named Kendall. And the answer is glass. When you say it, he's freed, and he gives you another piece of the tablet.
So you're piecing it all together.
Bit by bit, the door to the inner circle needs 2 snow pearls, plus the final piece of that crystal sword.
Which leads us to the heart of the labyrinth, the final confrontation.
In the center of the dungeon. And even here, it's not just a monster waiting in a room.
The environment controls the combat. I remember this part. There's an hourglass.
A huge hourglass. And you can rotate it to control the time of day.
And the goal is to set it to the full moon to empower the snow pearls.
You've got it. That's your tactical advantage. And Milgor's first defense is an invisible barrier. The only thing that can break it.
Is the completed crystal sword.
Yeah.
One you had to sacrifice gems and time to reassemble.
Perfect. And once the barrier is down, Milgor, still the prankster, attacks with illusions.
And they aren't random illusions, are they?
Not at all. They're based on the scary encounters Kristoff avoided earlier. The Viper, the fiery curtain. He's being tested on his commitment to cunning, not combat. You have to defeat the idea of the threat.
This brings us to the The really astonishing climax. After you beat the illusionary Milgor, his giant floating face appears for the final judgment.
And the dice are gone. This is where the whole system, the entire design of this module just snaps into focus.
The outcome is based entirely on those honor, persistence, and selfishness points you've been tracking all along.
Every tiny choice you made in the wilderness and the caverns now decides if you win, lose, or suffer a fate worse than death.
And the bad endings are, they're truly bad.
Oh, they're punitive. If you have no honor or persistence, you can end up in disgrace, lose the pearls, or even get stuck in a time paradox where you're not even an elf anymore. Your entire existence gets erased.
But the best possible ending. That's the one that just recontextualizes the entire adventure.
It really does. If Kristoff has high XP, meaning he was careful with his resources, and high honor, Milgor reveals his true motive.
What is it?
He says, and this is a quote, "It was I who gave the elves the snow pearls to test their caring, steadfastness, and honor."
Wow.
Kristoff hasn't defeated a villain. He's just passed a very, very high-stakes moral exam.
The prankster wizard was the benevolent architect of his own test.
That's it. So this whole 1985 module wasn't just a fun adventure. It was a masterclass in designing a deliberate character trial.
Every puzzle, every encounter, all those custom scoring systems. They were all there to see if the hero had the moral fiber to protect his home. The quest was the evaluation.
That's the deepest insight from this old source material. It combines moral choice, direct resource management, and all these complex puzzles, all centered on that internal moral score. It's so much more sophisticated than just rolling a d20 to hit a monster.
It's just incredible the depth you find when you treat these old documents as carefully structured pieces of literature and design. Kristoff won because he was honorable and persistent, not just because he was a Tenslayer.
Which leaves us with this final provocative thought for you. Since the goal of Kristoff's quest wasn't just to get the pearl back, but to prove he had caring, steadfastness, and honor, what hidden tests are embedded in the challenges you face every day?
And how do your own internal scores, your honor, your persistence, and your selfishness determine the ultimate outcome of those challenges?